is only war.
What is up, gents? 40k Dirtbags here. We got a battle report for you today. We're doing Death Guard versus our boy Mike's Chaos Space Marine player. He came over to the battle bunker. We had some beers, played an awesome game of competitive 40k. These lists are super competitive. We are testing out Death Guard. There are some things that I would change up in the list, but all in all, it's a very good list. And same with the Chaos Space Marines. He's testing out a list coming up for LVO. Mine is more just fun and trying the new -1 save and all that fun shit. So there's a lot of different combos that I'm testing out with Death Guard. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe, like, do all that YouTube shit, but head over to Discord because we're testing out a bunch of new Death Guard stuff. Same with the Chaos Space Marines. We are taking Chaos Space Marines to LVO just like Mike is, but we got a lot of Death Guard content coming up because I was talking to Parsons the other day where we basically were enjoying Death Guard so much, even though we might not be winning RTTs or GTs with them, the games are so close. It's just so fun to play the army now compared to back then when you're playing basically God mode every single game. So this battle report, it's basically taking pictures, going over turn by turn, what we did good, what we could have done better. These are the tactical videos that we're trying to do over at 40k Dirtbags, and we're trying to recruit a lot more Dirtbags onto the channel to kind of give you more options and battle reports so that you guys can watch them if you just like 40k in general. So for me personally, I play Death Guard, Chaos Space Marines, Grey Knights, Sisters, and Custodes. Main ones, Grey Knights, we got ranked #1 last year in the world. Right now we're #1 Chaos Space Marine player in the world, right below a fucking World Eater player. I don't know why they're in our meta. And then Death Guard, I might be, who the hell knows, playing them when the new codex comes out for 10th edition next year. So it's gonna be super fun. So always love playing Mike because our games are just super chill and we basically know what we're both doing because we're always practicing for RTTs and GTs coming up. So let's go over the new display capture. We got the pictures, and then over here was the final layout for the missions, just so you guys can kind of see what we got every round. So this is the deployment. We did the corner deployments. We also are testing out, I believe this is where if you kill a unit, purge the foe. So if you kill a model, you get an extra point. If you hold more objectives, you get extra points. 4 points for each category. 8 if you get more than your opponent. So it's always like a fun one to play. But this was the setup we had. Let's go over the army lists first, and then we'll be back during deployment. All right, today we got Mortarion, the Flesh Mower. We're using a Chaos Soul Grinder, toughness 11. 3 Plague Burst Crawlers, a Rhino, Lord of Virulence, a Banner guy. This guy's going to stand in for a Banner. 2 units of 5 Plague Marines, 1 unit of 3 Deathshroud, Typhus with his 20 Poxwalkers, and then a unit of 10 Cultists, and that's 2,000 points. All right, Mike, what do you got?
Well, we have Abaddon with 10 Terminators, Blue Scribes, 1x3 Flamers, 3x3 Nurglings, 1x10 Cultists, 2x2 Obliterators, 2x5 Warp Talons, 3 Bikes, and 2 Forge Fiends, one with Ectoplasma and the other one with 2 Autocannons and 1 Ectoplasma.
What are the marks?
So the Autocannon is Undivided, the Ectoplasma is Nurgle, the Warp Talons are Slanesh for Advance and Charge, the Bikes and the Obliterators and the Cultists are all Nurgle, and the Terminators have everything.
Nice. All right, so those are the lists. Like I said, pretty competitive. Anybody could be running them and do pretty well with them. So the deployment, we basically set up everything on the line. We happen to go first, and our first turn, we get 5, or we get Cleanse and Engage in all fronts. So it's really hard to do Engage in all fronts. Now with the Nurglings, it's good to have them get you secondaries turn 1. So they're going to help out with getting Engage in all fronts. They're going to help out with getting Cleanse, Investigate Signal, deploy teleport homers, be in the center. Like there's a lot of secondaries on turn 1 that you really want to make sure that you get. So being able to advance deploy, or at least put them, you know, near the center, you're able to kind of walk out and just do secondaries. We kind of castled up with everything in the back here near Mortarion. I run Mortarion a little bit different than most people. I kind of run them with my Plagueburst crawlers within 6 inches of Morty, kind of always. They're speed 10 and Morty speed 10, so they're able to keep up with them every single turn. And then the Defiler, or the Soul Grinder back here, is you know, able to kind of shoot 36 inches to try and get, you know, some shots off over here. Now what's cool about him is they can walk through 4 inches of walls, so you're able to kind of not be hindered by terrain in most cases. And then we have a Rhino behind this wall over here in case we need to get the Plague Marines out and do actions on the center. And then up here we have the Cultist pre-gaming move. His Nurgling started up here, and we had our guy hop out and kind of charge the Nurglings over here. So our turn 1, we're able to get Cleanse on the top objective with the scout move Cultists, and then Cleanse on the center objective with the Nurglings. So again, we charged the Nurglings. I think 1 survived. So the next turn, he gets Aerial Denial and Extend Battle Lines. So he loves the Flamers for this specific reason. He always puts them up front because they're speed 9, and they have they can fall back and shoot, which makes them even better for secondary. So even if 1 survives and he passes Battle Shock, you're able to kind of fall back and do an action. So he's able to kind of do secondaries with them. So his other Nurglings, which I didn't even know he put them here. You couldn't even tell in the first picture, but there were actually Nurglings here, which I probably could have like charged or something with Morty. Again, wasn't even thinking about it. So his Nurglings are right here under this cover, so they were to kind of walk out and block my Plagueburst crawlers from moving up. And then his other guys moved up. He shot the Nurglings with all of the Termies over here, and the Forge Fiend got 6 wounds onto my Plagueburst crawler 36 inches away back here. Now he's got a Nurgle strat, which I can't shoot outside 12 inches. Our Nurgle strat is basically stealth, so not as good. But still, that was that. Up here, he fell back just to kind of keep this guy from shooting at him. So he fell back, blocked him out a little bit. I know he has fly, but still just kind of being annoying. And then down here, he did some wounds to my Forge Fiend with his other, or to my Defiler, which is a Soul Grinder, with his undivided autocannon Forge Fiend back here. So ton of wounds, took it down to 4 wounds. So I think he did 10 fucking wounds to it. On my turn, we brought the Banner guy up. That's my Banner guy. I think the Banner guy just chilled. No, he's behind there. So Banner guy was back there. Then on my turn 2, we get Extend Battle Lines and Storm Hostile Objective. So we have to basically take over an objective that he had prior. Yeah, so take over an objective, which seems pretty easy. And then obviously control objective in no man's land while controlling your own. So we basically bring out our Plague Marines over here. So that way they're able to kind of move up and get the center objective. He has a lot of fucking Overwatch with Abaddon with the full rerolls, the Forge Fiends with exploding 6s, full rerolls, dark pathing. Like it's super scary with Overwatch. And then for us, we deep struck on our turn 2. We put the Nurglings down here to try and block out his rapid ingress. So anytime you're playing 10th edition, always prepare for rapid ingress. And with going first, you have to kind of prepare for that, because on your turn 2 at the end of your movement phase, they're able to rapid ingress for 1 CP. So it's going to be super hard to prep for that, but make sure you try and prepare every single turn, starting on turn 2 for rapid ingress. All right, here's something else. I don't want to get blasted off the table. So Morty actually flew back kind of behind this little cover piece over here, so his Forged Fiends don't just keep getting shots on me. So I'm using Morty really to take advantage of the Plagueburst crawlers, so they're able to kind of shoot out of line of sight, don't suffer the penalty. We bring on our Typhus down in the bottom here with our zombies. They get on the objective and they try and make a 9-inch charge on the Forge Fiend to basically just tie him up and take over the point. And then down here we back up our Soul Grinder to try and get some shots off. We want to get out of range of this guy. So we kind of just back up and wait a turn. Then this thing's sticky because Death Guard. This thing, we move our cultists up to try and get some shots off on the Nurglings, and then eventually charge those Nurglings. So basically, again, we're trying to block out the zone for his rapid ingress and just prepare for the counterattack with all of the fucking models coming in from Deep Strike. So we save our Lord of Virulence this turn. We don't bring him in because there's really not a ton of great targets. We could bring him in over here to get line of sight over there, but I'll probably get Overwatch and then die. So yeah. Oh, and this is also something. So he has the Nurgle strat. So if I target the Terminators, he just spends 1 CP, so that way I can't shoot it. So it wasn't a good idea to bring in Lord of Virulence this turn, so that way he can Nurgle strat, and then I just waste the Lord of Virulence. So you have to prepare Chaos Space Marine players knowing that they have the can't shoot them outside of 12 inches strat. So like I said, cultists spread out, these guys spread out, blocking out all down here, Typhus is blocking out all down here. So the only place that he can really deep strike is essentially up here behind the wall, or all the way at the top here, up here. So not a ton of places for him to come in rapid ingress. So he gets a tempting target and then overwhelming force. So for tempting target, I think we picked the center objective or this top one. I don't think he had anybody in here. So we picked the top one because he would have to make a 9-inch charge. So he deep strikes the dudes up here to try and make the 9-inch charge to get tempting target. And then we have this guy over here to try the counter charge in case he does get on the point. And then the Nurglings are just being annoying in the center over here. I think I didn't pile into these guys so that way they don't die. So they're just kind of there to, again, move block, be annoying, -1 to hit in combat. These guys obviously failed their charge, so they're still stuck on the point. These guys came in from deep strike back here. These guys came in from deep strike back here. The blue scribe sat on his point because I forgot about this. We did turn 1 shoot the cultist that he had on the point to kill the cultist turn 1, so that way he didn't make his guys sticky. So if you're playing Chaos Space Marines, force him to spend the Nurgle strat for 1 CP, and if he does, shoot something else. So since he didn't spend the Nurgle strat on the cultist, we shot the cultist, killed half of them, and then shot him again and killed the rest. So that's kind of why I wasn't able to shoot the Terminators, because he didn't put the Nurgle strat on the cultist, so we killed the cultist. That's basically the target you want to kill turn 1 as soon as possible. All right, so we killed the Flamers with the Plague Marines, take over the center. And then after his turn 2, he kills, with 1 Forge Fiend, kills 19 zombies. With the blast, I'm 20 models, so you get +4 per gun. So it's 3d3 plus 12. Exploding 5s, full rerolls. Wounding on 2s. Wounds me 19 times. Nice. So kills 19 zombies. So it's literally just Typhus and there's a little zombie guy left. Then up here, of course, he makes his charge. So he makes his charge, stays outside of 6 inches of this guy because I think he was within 6 inches, and then I told him about the 6-inch counter charge, so he moved them behind 6 inches. And then I wasn't able to counter charge because then he would have just fucking countered and killed all of them and kept the point. So that was a good move by both of us. And then he gets tempting target for 5, and then fucking overwhelming force for 5 because he killed the zombies, he killed Typhus, and then he kills the cultists up there. So kills a lot. The Terminators move up, charge the Nurglings, and also charge the Plague Marines, and basically takes it down to 1. And the Nurglings, I think, just got picked up by the Terminators. He deep struck the Oblitz there, deep struck the other Oblitz there. So almost everything's on the table right now. Whoops. Almost everything is on the table right now. Dog. All right, so secure no man's land and overwhelming force, same thing. So each time enemy units start the turn, I have to kill something. So this is going to be kind of tough. What do we get? We got 3 for overwhelming force and 5 for secure no man's land. So we want to kill guys on the objective. So obviously we have an easy one to kind of choose up here. So those are the warp towns with our 1. I would run 3 of these guys, but 1 bloat drone. I forget. Fuck. Wow, I'm so bad with names. that thing with the flesh mower, I just call it flesh mower. We have a unit of Nurglings back here, again, to block out the deep strike that he had last turn. Morty's starting to move up slowly. Our 3 Plague Brush Crawlers are still holding strong. This is where I fucked up, right? Remember I talked about the Nurgle strat? You can't shoot outside 12 inches. Well, this turn, I lined up everything to basically blow up this Terminator squad. So I back up everybody. The one banner guy runs out here from behind the wall, runs out, plants the banner. Everybody basically is in contagion range, so everybody's -1 to their saves. This guy kind of just falls back, chills there. These guys come down. I get Lord of Virulence within line of sight to the Terminators right here. So he just has a straight line. So again, basically we control that objective, and we're just trying to either kill Terminators or kill these guys and just get our secondary points. So we even move up the dude right here to see this guy. So we have everything lined up perfectly. Then he goes, okay, 1 CP, Nurgle strat. I'm like, oh my god, I even play this fucking army and I forgot about the Nurgle strat. So literally I lined up everything to shoot this fucking unit, and they're all obviously outside 12 inches. I even lined up Mortarion within 18 inches so he can get some shots off, and he fucking Nurgle strats, and I completely forget about it. So it's all that's just wasted. So we have to start fucking shooting pot shots like everywhere else across the table. So that was my bad. I totally fucked up and forgot about the Nurgle strat, even though I play the army and even though he did it fucking 3 turns in a row. So we basically line up everything and just shoot off these dudes over here. We get some random pot shots off on the Forge Fiend over here, and we actually kill the Forge Fiend. He's got 1 Havoc left over here, 2 a Blitz, full squad over here, and another Forge Fiend. So we kill 1 Forge Fiend with Undivided, so that's great. And then we whittle down this one to like 6 wounds or something. And we kill the Warp Talons. So now he's got fucking 10 Terminators just right in my face in the center. So this should be good. So what does he get next turn? He starts moving everybody up. So Terminators scooch up. Abaddon moves back a little bit because he's afraid of Morty coming in and charging him. And then the Forge Fiend moves up. These guys scooch up. These guys come out from the other side of the wall, the Obliterators. He kills the Obliterators with these guys, so he basically shoots my dude on the objective, and still not sticky because he overtook it, so I wasn't able to make it sticky because I have to control it in my command phase. So that literally is just chilling there, wide open for the taking. Forge Fiend gets some shots off, I believe, on these guys and just nuke these guys off the table. This guy has 2 wounds left, and then obviously the Terminators finish him off. Blitz, I think, shoot into Morty, and this banner and my Plague Marine die. So at the end of his turn, he got Tempting Target, which he took last turn. He got Secure No Man's Land, so he controls 2, and then Storm Hostile Objective. He took over the objective. So what did I do on this turn? We get aerial denial, so we have to control the center, and then assassinate. So for assassinate, I'm like, all right, I have to go after Morty. I think that's I'm not getting to this character back there. It's got Lone Operative. There's no other characters on the table, and it's only Abaddon. So what we do is we basically move everybody up to actually be within 12 inches of fucking Abaddon's unit now. So we move out the Plague Brush Crawler, The other Plague Brush Crawler I don't think was in range, but he kind of moved up as well anyway. This Defiler scooted up to try and be within 12 inches of them as well. This guy somehow survived. He's got 1 wound left, so he's just kind of scooching up just to be wholly within 6 for aerial denial. Morty moves up 10. Nothing is really left over here, so I'm kind of leaving that objective wide open. And then he's got speed 4 Obliterator, so I'm not really afraid of them moving and running to the objective. Then down here, he kills my Lord of Virulence and all the Terminators. The Rhino advances out, so that way next turn I can actually do something down here. So the Rhino's kind of on the bottom field waiting. And then he still has his Oblitz his Nurglings over here, and there's 1 Warp Talon dude right here. All right, so Morty charges in. Morty spends 1 CP. Morty then declares all of his attacks to be precision into Abaddon because I see Abaddon and he's too far away, so that way he can't get attacks on Abaddon. So this is a little tactic. When your characters or units kind of spread out and you can't consolidate to get into combat with your character or whatever, they're not able to attack. So what he did wrong here was, see how Abaddon was all the way back here? If Abaddon was in the center, he could have at least like fight on death and did a ton of wounds into Mortarion. Instead, Abaddon was back here, so I wanted to kind of charge as far forward as possible into these guys, so that way when he piles in 3, he has to be base to base with a unit to get attacks. So that's a little tactic, is if Abaddon can't get into combat, who the fuck cares, you know? Because then eventually, if he doesn't die, or if you have a way to kill him with precision, he'll die, and since you're defender, you'll fight first before him next anyway, unless he falls back and charges, whatever it may be. But that was my mindset. I'm going to move Morty up, charge this Terminator. Abby can't move up 3 to get base to base, so I should be able to kill Abaddon. So that's what happened. So I charge in, so I think there was 1 Terminator right there. Abby can't consolidate to get into combat, but we had precision, and I think we wounded Abby 4 times. He fails 2 or 3 of them, I forget. And then it's flat 4 damage each, so then Abaddon dies. I think he failed like 3 wounds, whatever it may be. So Abaddon then dies. He can't fight on death because he can't get into combat, so he just dies. So we get assassinate from Abaddon. He's got 4 Terminators left on the center. That was after shooting with fucking everything. And that's that. So basically we're winding down to just 4 Obliterators, 4 Terminators, character back there, Nurglings down here, and then we still have 3 Plaguebearers Crawlers, Soul Grinder, Nurglings, Morty, and that's it. So after his turn, he gets Capture Enemy Outpost, which is going to be really hard, and Defend Stronghold. So Defend Stronghold's pretty easy for him. He just kind of holds that. Forgot about the bikes. Bikes then come up and just steal this objective and, you know, get that objective. And then, so Capture Enemy Outpost and Defend Stronghold. So leaves Mortarion on 4 wounds with basically everything shooting at him. Yeah, so everything basically shoots at Mortarion, leaves Mortarion on 4 wounds. He falls back with the Terminator, so that way they can still shoot and charge. Moves up everything into Morty, and just unloads everything in Morty. The bikes just come on, shoot some pot shots at the Plaguebearers Crawler, don't really do anything. And that was his turn. So he obviously doesn't capture enemy outpost, and Defend Stronghold he gets because I'm not able to get into his backfield. So now our turn. What the fuck are we gonna do? We basically kill all but 1 Terminator. The Oblits charged in to try and help out with them. Morty lives on 1 after that charge. I think I spent a CP to reroll 1 of the failed saves. So he's a 4-up, so I failed it, and then I spent a CP to reroll it, and I make it. So Morty's living on 1 fucking wound. I forgot that he doesn't suffer the penalty for -1 to hit, because I think I was rolling 3s to hit instead of 2s, but I forget. So what does Morty do? Morty has an option to fall back or just kind of stand there and shoot. Then the Plaguebearers Crawlers really have nothing else to shoot. So on our final turn, we get Investigate Signals and battle no prisoners. So I have to try and kill as many as possible. Investigate Signals, I only have 1 person in the corner, which is these Nurglings up here. So they basically just move back 5, do Investigate Signals. So I only get 2 points on turn 5 for that. And then for no prisoners, we have to kill as much as possible. So we move up our Plaguebearers Crawler. We just shoot, kill 1 bike. The other Plaguebearers Crawlers move up. We kill the Terminator on the objective. The Defiler moves up. I can't get the Defiler in combat because Morty's too big. So he's got a Blitz to the left, The other Blitz, I guess, died to shooting from fucking everything over here. The Lane Raider or the Rhino gets on this objective to hold the objective. And that was it. So I was only able to kill the one Terminator to get 4 points, or we might have killed 2. So we killed the Terminators and the Oblitz. So we got 4 points for no prisoners. Then his final turn, he gets, of course, Bring It Down with Morty on 1 fucking wound and Assassinate. So what a final fucking turn 5 you could get. Assassinate and Bring It Down with Obliterators in my face that has a fallback, shoot, and charge strat. Great. So spends 1 CP, falls back, shoots and charge, and of course blows up fucking Mortarion. So Mortarion dies. He gets Assassinate for 5 and Bring It Down for fucking 5. So he gets the final score, and the final score is 94 to 88 Mike. So he wins. He gets 44 for primary. We had 44 for primary. And then for secondaries, he had 40 and we had 34. So I guess he won by 6. 6-point game for Mike versus Death Guard. We still have a shit ton left. Honestly, the way we probably would have played it a little bit differently is playing out that move with the stratagem that he used for the Terminators not to die. For the Terminators not to die that one turn earlier, that definitely helped him out a lot. We probably could have put something else on this objective, or at least move the Plaguebear's Crawler up there faster. Morty, I think, did great. He lived till turn 5 and killed Abaddon himself. So that was fucking huge. And I think the Rhino coming out a turn earlier, like basically dropping off the Plague Marines and then running out a turn earlier, would have got him on this objective 1 turn earlier, which would have got us 5 more points. Or at least 4 more points, because the secondary, the Defiler or Soul Grinder lived. Like, he basically peeked out, got shot by a Forge Fiend, like, nope, and then walked back. So for going against Chaos, you have to kill Forge Fiends as soon as possible. Plaguebear's Crawlers can do it. Just make the volume of shots. So wounding on 5s, lethal hits is not bad. So wounding on 5s, rerolling 1s with Morty, and ignoring the out of line of sight shooting. The Lord of Virulence, I definitely think I played him wrong. Again, he came down. I didn't benefit from him because of the 1 CP strat. So planning that out was my mistake. For him, he did obviously well throughout the entire game. Like, he basically knew what to kill and kind of ignore. So there's nothing. I think starting the Warp Talons on the table ahead of time, having 1 on the table, 1 in Deep Strike to rapid ingress, I think would be the better play. Because if the Warp Talons started back here, they could have at least turn 1 hopped out behind this objective. And if they're there, they basically can hop out any. Sorry, the dog. Yeah, that would probably be it, is the Warp Talons, because then you can basically fight over this bottom objective. I didn't really threaten his top objective, so that's something that I have to think about for the games moving forward. Is if I do get that take enemy objective or whatever, or if he has defense strong, I have to have a way to get to that objective. So my new list moving forward had 3 of the Flesh Mowers in it. The Plague Marines did great, but the new list that I'm testing out is basically Morty, 2 Plaguebear's Crawlers, 10 Blight Lords, Terminators with the Lord of Virulence. There's 6 Death Shroud with Typhus, 2 Banners, and 3 Flesh Mowers, and 3x3 Nurglings, of course. So the -1 to hit is really fun to try out. If you haven't tried that out, that's a battle report coming up soon against our boy Jack. Can't wait to talk about that one. But that is basically benefiting from the -1 ballistic skill, -1 weapon skill, and then in combat the Nurglings make it -2 essentially. And then if you have stealth on Morty, shooting at Morty, if you're in contagion range, which most of the time you're going to be, is going to be -2 to hit him. So you're hitting on most of the time 5s, sometimes 6s, which is insane. So stay tuned for that battle report. Always a great game against Mike. Enjoy the outro against the video, and then we'll come back. All right, Mike. End of the game. Oh my god. Mortarion died in the center. He's finally dead. 2 Obliterators finally took him out with the fucking -1 to fall back, shoot, and charge. Bikes are over there. It doesn't matter. Turn 5. But End of the game, we have 3 Plague Bros crawlers, a Soul Grinder, a Rhino on the objective, 2 Blitz, and you have 3 bikes. And a blue scribe. So, what was the score?
94-88.
94-88 who?
Me. But I mean, like, dude, you had 44 primary, I had 44 primary, 34 secondary, I had 40 secondary.
Shit.
And so we talked about this. Your area denial, you got nothing that turn. Because it was 5, 10, 8, 5, 6.
Shit.
I had 10, 10, 10, 0, and then 13. Because defense stronghold, yeah.
So, since I killed too many Terminators in the center, it's fucked up my aerial denial. If you had one more Terminator alive, I would have got it.
Yeah.
But since Abaddon was like too far back, and when I charged him, I was able to precision Abaddon, kill Abaddon, and then the rest to carry. Like, you had just enough Terminators in the center to be wholly within 3 inches, so I couldn't get aerial denial.
Yeah.
So that's out 5 points for me.
Yeah, and weirdly, because there were so many Terminators left, I wasn't that butthurt that Abaddon died, because they innately have the rerolls, so that's cool. You forget about that too.
Yeah.
Because typically they're just like with Abaddon all the time. But the thing that sucked was losing all the marks. So can't res. So that was frustrating. But so
and you failed. You failed a 2-up once, and then you failed the Dark Pact once. So it's like you failed twice for the CP, and you were kind of starving most of the game for the CP.
Yes.
Like, if you would have had 2 extra CP, you would have resed one, made the charge farther, like, easier. Because I think you actually failed that charge, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Failed a 4-inch charge.
Yeah.
Because I had, so my CP went into rapid ingressing, overwatching the guys. I typically don't overwatch with Abaddon and his dudes, but they were infantry. So I was like, you know.
That also was another 5 points that I didn't get.
Yeah.
Because I only controlled 1 compared to controlling 2.
Mm-hmm.
So my goal that turn, honestly, I fucked up. I played Chaos Space Marines and I forgot that you have a Nurgle strat where I can't shoot you. So I lined up everything to be shooting at the Terminator squad, and I put the 5 guys on the objective. I was like, you know what? I'm just going to try and kill all the Terminators and control the objective. And you were like, all right, 1 CP, I'm going to Nurgle strat. And I'm like, dude, I completely forgot about that strat, even though I played the fucking army. So that was brutal. And the end of the game, you picked 2 perfect secondaries.
Assassination, bring it down.
Assassinate and bring it down, which got you 10 points easily by killing 1 guy who had 2 wounds left.
Yeah.
It came down to the final roll-off, which I failed 1 save. So I needed a 2 5-ups to Field of Pains. If I make 1 of them, I live. If I fail both of them, I die.
Yeah.
I failed both of them.
Yep.
And I died.
Yeah.
So that was crazy. Anything? What do you like about lists? I mean, you've been playing your list for a while now, tweaking it like here and there. And honestly, after 2 RTTs, all the test games, Nova, what do you like about your list?
Well, so the data slate changed it slightly, right? Like, and a bunch of podcasts said this, like, CSM it was just like a wash. Sure, Forge Fiends went up, a bunch of shit went down.
15 points, though.
Right.
Nothing.
Right, yeah, that was nothing. Even the dev wounds, like, one dude still nuked the zombie squad. Yeah.
19 guys. What did you say when you rolled the dice?
I was like, these dudes are fucking dead. I was like, I'm fucking killing them.
He rolls 3 dice and he's like, these guys are dead. And I removed 19 of them off the table. Fuck.
Yeah, Warp Talon's disgusting. Okay, so I strat reserve 2. I think 1 goes on the table.
Because, dude, if you had 1 here, you could have got the corner thing. Yeah. Right? Turn 1.
So again, like, getting 94 points, like, I can't be like, oh, I had like a ton of misplays, but like, so difficult decision in the beginning was, so the bikes have to be deployed turn 1 for them to come off the board and then come in 4 and 5. They have to be deployed deployed turn 1.
Mm-hmm.
So you targeted my bikes. I had to Nurgle them.
Mm-hmm. Which let me kill the...
Right, because, so, like...
The cultists.
Yeah, the decision point is like, well, do I have sticky objective all game, or do I lose the bikes, which have all 4 turns later longevity? So I had to lose the Terminator, or the damn cultists. I rapid ingressed the obliterators to get the 4-inch. So it turns into 28-inch threat range. Killed that one dude. No, he lived. That was frustrating. but anyway, like, I think, and a bunch of people have been saying this recently, I don't think enough people exploit rapid ingress.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, we have to do a video on that, definitely.
Yeah. So getting the I think,
because you could rapid every fucking turn.
Right.
Like, you could rapid turn 2. You could rapid turn 3.
But here's the thing. We said this in the beginning. Like, if you know how to screen, and we posted these in the Discord. Like, when someone's like, "Hey, how do I screen?" It's like, dude, you need 18 inches between 2 units, and like most of the game, like the entire board. I think in this game there was like a little spot here, but you had to be on the objective over there. So
yeah,
that was fine. But
dude, the one turn when you rapid ingressed, I had Typhus here with all the zombies. I had everything blocked out all the way around, and then randomly I just dropped in fucking Nurglings there, which you then could only deep strike back there, or like here, which is where you put your oblits.
Yep.
So it's like you were going to bring in your warp towns, but you couldn't really get a good thing on them.
Yeah, I had a small hole right here.
Yeah.
9-inch rerolling charge.
Uh-huh.
But the point I'm making is, like, we both had heavy screens, so like our deep strike, rapid ingress, even strat reserves were literally just like the mid board.
Yeah.
Half the mid board for both of us each.
Yeah.
I think 2x2 obliterators is better than 1x4 because Abaddon, if you think about it, he has a 14-inch R range because it's 6 either side plus his base. So you can take the 2x2 oblits and do something like this. They still get all the rerolls, right? If you need the Melta to go into one thing, sure, that's fine. But it is like abusing the out-of-line of sight shooting. And then, so as points drop for everyone, you need to kill people's trash units.
Oh, 100%.
So you were going after my Nurglings, I have to go after your Nurglings, killing cultists, killing like the trash, which scores you mad points. At the RTT over the weekend, I wanted to go after your bikes. But, okay, so how do you deal with people targeting them? You throw, like, kind of distraction. Yep, you throw a bunch of stuff in front of them, and then they get distracted, being like, oh man, I need to kill this Plagueburst crawler, when you really need to be going after screening units, the cultists, other stuff like that.
3x3 Nurglings, what do you think?
Oh, dude, it's what?
105 points? 105?
Yeah, ish, whatever.
Stupid.
I mean, yes. Oh, we were talking about... So you had Nurglings, I had Nurglings, but we didn't play anyone in the RTT who had Infiltrate, who, like, abused it.
Yeah.
But then, like, we ended up playing, and you saw that I put my 3 Nurglings in the middle, and you're like, shit.
I have to put mine down right after you.
To set up your strat reserves, your deep strikes in the following turn. So, yeah, I 100% think you need to have... Actually, I've done this since the beginning. You need, like, 300 points of trash
secondaries,
to do stuff. Like, again, Blue Scribes. Like, usually he's out and about doing things. Because you killed the cultists, I never had sticky, so I had to just leave someone here. So Lone Up again is still really good.
It's still really... Especially into Plagueburst Crawlers, indirect. Yeah.
I think I'm going to get some Seekers instead of the Changeling.
Instead of the Flamers?
And then switch out the Flamers. So the change for my list was dropping the Nurgle Raptors. Raptors need to be with what's his nuts? Harkin. But...
And he's really cool.
He is.
But he just dies.
Yeah, I mean, dude, that unit dies. I mean, so my opponent, round 2, brought them in, rapid ingress, and I was like, oh, I'm just going to... out of line of sight, shoot them. So I think you need to keep in mind too, what are the units you're going to out of line shoot,
you need to have your deployment strategy set up for the turn 2 drops.
Yeah.
Which you need to screen and push it out. Like, even my Nurglings up here, I just advanced them, blocked your damn...
all the Playbursts. And Morty, too, honestly.
Yeah, they were just... Well, yeah, because Morty wants to be around them until his, like, go turn.
Yeah.
I ignored him basically the entire game and just, like, killed everything else around him.
Which was smart. Most people try and kill Morty.
They get distracted.
Yeah, and then everything else can do whatever the fuck they want.
Yeah.
Like the Plague Marines, the Rhino, the Terminators. The Terminators, what I've noticed is they die super easily. Because they come down, and for you...
pushing their 4-ups with damage 3, like...
For you, I came down, I was like, all right, I have line of sight to your Terminator unit, I'm going to put all 3 Plague Burst Crawlers in your Terminator unit, I got +1 to hit, AP 1, like, everything was lined up perfectly. And then you were like, 1 CP, can't shoot me. So that negated my entire fucking turn, and then he died next turn. So that blew up my whole coming in turn 3 strat.
Right.
He didn't come in turn 2. He waited till turn 3.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, like I said, Chaos Space Marines is a really good counter into Death Guard. Because you have a lot of our answers that we don't like to see.
Yeah, the armor thing didn't really come into play.
Because you have a 2-up, 4-up, and you don't have a lot of Marines.
Right, but what I'm saying is, like, again, matchup dependent. So this is my first time into Death Guard since the data slate. I thought you were actually going to go with the -1.
You didn't notice a difference, right?
With how the army works?
Yeah.
You have more stuff.
I think the -1 to hit might have been better.
Yeah, because
it helps with ballistic skill as well. So like if he's there and you're within 9 inches, you're -1 to hit.
Right.
Just -1 ballistic skill, and then I can also do fucking stealth. So then you're -2 technically.
Yeah, right.
Which is really good.
Yeah.
So you're hitting on 5s instead of 4s. So yeah, maybe we'll try that next time against Chaos.
I think. What did you think of the zombie blob with Typhus going to that objective?
I mean, it was. Did I? I know I killed the guy, so I wanted to charge him.
No, yeah, you deep struck.
I just walked on.
They strat reserved it.
I just walked on and I wanted to charge this guy, but I killed him, so I didn't have any charge targets, so he's basically just sitting there. But he kind of did his job because I wanted to go to this point. I didn't expect you to kill fucking 19 zombies on a 5-up. I mean, you're 3 damage each, but you literally wounded me 19 times.
Yeah.
19 times.
Yeah.
And you have 3d3 blast, which is...
That is +12.
Yes, +12.
Yeah, that really pushes the...
And then exploding 5s, full rerolls.
Yeah.
So it's like, it is just insane the amount of shots and also 3 damage.
Yeah.
So I wasn't expecting that. I even spent 1 CP for -1 to hit.
Yeah.
And it was still
the
19.
Re-rolls,
yeah,
the
19
re-rolls
ones.
and the explosions. Your previous list ran 2 Plague Burst Crawlers before?
No, I had 3. Oh, always 3, yeah. I think I had a Defiler instead of a Soul Grinder. So the Defiler benefits from the Lord of Virulence, but again, the Lord of Virulence died turn 3 for nothing. Yeah, like I said, the Chaos Nurgle strat kind of shuts down the Plague Burst Crawlers.
I mean, they're still disgusting. They're still smashing through like everything else. Yeah, you're killing my trash.
I think I have to put everything into your Forge Fiends as soon as possible. Because your Forge Fiend, one Forge Fiend kills a Plague Burst Crawler.
Yeah.
By itself.
Typically.
Yeah. So this thing did pretty good.
Yeah, that was annoying. I wanted to kill that soon. Even in 9th, I want to kill those things soon.
They're so good at 9th.
They're fast.
They were better at 9th.
They mulch. Yeah, they were. But again, so that was my first time into that unit in 10th.
Yeah.
They just mulched with infantry, so I wanted to kill that sooner than later, no matter what. Yeah.
And the Plague Marines, I think, again, I use them for chaff, like secondary stuff like that. So I really like the Plague, and the banner failed by 1 inch running out of the Rhino.
Yeah.
Or if he made that, I probably would have dropped the Lord of Virulence down turn 1 But then you would have spent 1 CP on the Nurgle strat, and then all the Plagueburst crawlers would have fucking failed turn 2 instead of turn 3. Yeah, again, I just forgot about that strat. But anything you would change about your list besides the Seekers?
No.
Cool.
I'm just thinking it's the same concept.
Yeah, and then we got LVO this year.
Yep, going LVO.
So if you see us at LVO, definitely come up and say hi. Dirtbags. Anything else, Mike?
No, man.
Cool. Appreciate the game.
All right.
You won by 5.
5, yeah.
Great game. Thanks, man.
Later.
So we were tired. We had a whole fucking pizza, shit ton of beers, and it was super late. So that was a long game, but it was super fun. Obviously, you can tell by the excitement of Mike. So congrats, Mike. That was an awesome game. Stay tuned for the other videos coming up. Leave in the comments below if you guys want to go support the channel and have suggestions, be competitive dirtbags, ask me questions, comments, go over list ideas, grandmasters. Head over to Patreon, support the channel so we can grow as much as possible. And then also join Discord. There's over 700 guys over on Discord and gals over on Discord asking questions and just answering their questions about 40k and all the memes you could possibly think about. If you guys are interested in Dirtbag Dice, more on their way. Come November, I ordered 1,200 more. Once the colors that I really want are coming out, they're going to be coming out in January. So we'll order probably 2,500 more of those stickers, obviously all over the place. Hit me up on Discord over there. And if you guys are at LVO, definitely come up and say hi and say you're a dirtbag so I can give you a limited edition Dirtbag Dice. But guys, appreciate it. Good luck, and we will see you in another video soon.